You know the feeling, it's late. Your phone is dark. No notifications. No one checking on you. The silence is so loud you can hear your own heartbeat. And something inside you starts to panic, not because anything is wrong, but because you are alone. And being alone feels like failure, like abandonment, like proof that you are not enough. So you pick up your phone, you scroll, you text someone, anyone. You say yes to plans you don't want. You laugh at jokes you don't find funny. You become someone else just so you don't have to sit in the quiet with yourself. Here is the truth no one tells you. That panic, that fear of being alone, it is not protecting you. It is owning you. Every time you cannot stand to be by yourself, you hand your power to someone else. You become a people pleaser, not because you are kind, but because you are afraid. You say yes when you mean no. You stay when you want to leave. You perform when you want to rest. And the worst part, you don't even know you are doing it. Today, we are going to do something uncomfortable. We are going to teach you how to be alone. Not lonely. Alone. We are going to strip away the fear of silence, the terror of an empty room, the desperation for someone, anyone, to validate your existence. Because here is what I have learned. If you cannot stand alone, you will never truly stand for anything. You will bend to every wind. You will bow to every opinion. You will betray yourself 1,000 times just to feel the warmth of another body in the room. Learning to stay alone makes you ready for the moment when no one backs you up, when the whole world turns against you, when the people you counted on disappear, and it will also save you from spiraling when you are left alone. Not because you are strong, but because you have already made peace with the quiet. Let us begin. Let me describe someone to you. This person says yes to every invitation, even when they are tired. They laugh at jokes that are not funny. They agree with opinions they do not hold. They stay in conversations long after they want to leave. They text back immediately because they are afraid of what silence might mean. This person is loved, popular, always around. Everyone says they are so nice, so easy to be with, so agreeable. But here is what no one sees. They are exhausted. They have not had an original thought in years because they are too busy mirroring everyone else. They do not know what they want because they have never stopped to ask. They are terrified of being alone because they have never learned to be with themselves. The man who is everybody's friend is nobody's friend, least of all his own. Aristotle. That person is not kind. That person is afraid. And if you see yourself in that description, I am not here to shame you. I am here to wake you up, because the prison of people-pleasing is not built by others. It is built by you, brick by brick, smile by forced smile, yes by exhausted yes. And the only way out is learning to stand alone. Here is the paradox. When you learn to be alone, you actually become better at being with people, because you stop needing them. And when you stop needing, you stop performing. And when you stop performing, you become real. And real is the only thing worth being. Let us make a critical distinction. Lonely is pain. Alone is presence. Lonely is the feeling that something is missing. Alone is the experience of being complete with just yourself. Lonely reaches for the phone. Alone puts the phone down. Lonely says yes when it means no. Alone says no and does not explain. Loneliness is the poverty of self. Solitude is the richness of self. May Sarton. Most people have never experienced true solitude. They have only experienced loneliness. And because loneliness hurts, they assume that being alone is always painful. But that is a lie. Solitude, intentional, chosen, practiced solitude is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. It is in solitude that you hear your own voice. It is in solitude that you discover what you actually believe, not what you have been told to believe. It is in solitude that you become someone worth being. The person who cannot be alone is a puppet. Their strings are held by whoever is in the room. The person who has mastered solitude is a sovereign. They can walk into any room and walk out unchanged because they do not need the room to validate them. That is the goal. Not isolation, not misanthropy, just sovereignty. You are not against people. You are just not desperate for them. Let us talk about something darker. There will come a time, maybe it has already come, when you have to stand for something and no one stands with you. Maybe it is a truth about yourself that no one believes. Maybe it is a boundary you set that everyone resents. Maybe it is a decision you make that costs your relationships. Maybe it is simply the quiet knowledge that you're right and the whole world is wrong. If you stand alone, make sure you are standing on the truth. In those moments, your ability to stand alone is not a luxury. It is a lifeline, because if you have never practiced being alone, you will fold. You will cave. You will trade your truth for company. You will say what they want to hear just to feel less isolated. But if you have learned to stand alone, truly stand alone, content in your own company, then you can hold your ground. Not because you are stubborn, because you have already been there. You have already sat in the silence. You have already faced the fear of being the only one, and you survived. That is what solitude does. It grows your roots deep, so deep that when the storm comes, when the crowd turns, when the friends leave, when the world decides you are wrong, you do not topple. You stand, and you keep standing. Here is another gift that solitude gives you. It prevents the spiral. You know the spiral. It starts with a text that goes unanswered, then a call that is not returned, then a plan that falls through, and suddenly you are alone, not by choice, and your brain goes to work. They hate me. I did something wrong. I am not enough. No one cares. I will always be alone. The spiral happens because you have not built the muscle of being alone. So when solitude is forced upon you, you interpret it as rejection, abandonment, proof of your worthlessness. But here's the truth. Sometimes you are alone for no reason at all. People are busy. Life happens. The silence is not a message. It is just silence. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca, the person who has learned to be alone, does not spiral. They receive the silence like a guest. They sit with it. They do not panic. They do not text 7 times in a row. They do not assume the worst, because they know something that the people pleaser does not know. Being alone is not dangerous. Being alone is just being, and when you stop fearing it, it stops having power over you. That is the goal. Not to avoid being alone, to be so comfortable with it that even when it comes uninvited, you do not fall apart. So how do you learn this? How do you go from terrified of silence to sovereign in solitude? It is not complicated, but it is not easy. It requires practice, and the practice is simple. You have to spend time alone, on purpose, without distraction. Here is the practice. Step 1. Schedule alone time. 1 hour, no phone, no TV, no music, no podcasts, no social media, just you and the room. Step 2. Sit, do nothing. Let the discomfort rise. Let the urge to check your phone come. Do not act on it, just feel it. Let it pass. Step 3. Ask yourself questions. What do I actually want? What do I actually believe? What am I pretending not to know? Write down the answers. Step 4. Do this every day. Start with 10 minutes if an hour is too much, then 20, then 30, then an hour. Step 5. Notice what happens. Notice when the panic fades. Notice when the silence stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like rest. All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. Blaise Pascal. Pascal was right. We cannot sit still. We cannot be alone. We run from the silence because the silence forces us to face ourselves. And we are terrified of what we might find. But here is the secret. What you find is not a monster. What you find is you. And you are not as scary as you think. Let us go deeper. Learning to be alone is not just about surviving silence. It is about learning to be content in your own company, to enjoy yourself, to find that you are enough. Most people cannot do this. They need an audience. They need validation. They need someone to witness their life because they do not believe their life is worth living if no one sees it. The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself. Michel de Montaigne. Montaigne understood that belonging to yourself is the highest achievement. Not belonging to a tribe, not belonging to a partner, not belonging to a label. Belonging to yourself. Here is a practice. Take yourself on a date. Go to a restaurant alone. Sit at a table. Order food. Eat slowly. Do not look at your phone. Do not pretend you are waiting for someone. Just be there. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. You will feel exposed. You will think everyone is watching you. They are not. They are too busy worrying about themselves. Do this until it feels normal, until you actually enjoy it, until you look forward to it. When you can do that, when you can enjoy your own company without any external validation, you have achieved something that most people never will. You have become self-sufficient. Not in a survivalist way, in a psychological way. You do not need anyone to complete you because you are already complete. And here is the beautiful irony. When you are complete, you attract healthier relationships because you are not coming to them with an empty cup. You are coming to them with a full cup, ready to share. Let us talk directly about people-pleasing. You think you are being kind. You think you are being generous. You think you are being a good friend, a good partner, a good family member. But here is the truth that will hurt. People-pleasing is not kindness. It is cowardice. You are not saying yes because you want to. You are saying yes because you are afraid of what will happen If you say no, you are afraid of disappointment, of conflict, of being left, of being a lone dot, so you trade your authenticity for approval. You trade your energy for temporary warmth. You trade your truth for a seat at a table you do not even want to sit at. The only way to avoid being a people pleaser is to be willing to disappoint people. And here is the hard part. When you stop people pleasing, some people will leave. The ones who only wanted your performance will have no use for the real you. That is not a loss. That is a filtration system. The people who stay when you stop performing, those are your people. The ones who love you for you, not for what you do for them, but you will. Never find them if you are too busy performing for everyone. Else let us go to the extreme. There may come a time when you have to stand for something, and the whole world is against you, not just a few people. Everyone. Maybe it is a truth about yourself. Maybe it is a decision you have made. Maybe it is a boundary you have set. Maybe it is simply the refusal to participate in something you know is wrong. In that moment, you will have nothing but yourself. No allies, no validation. No one telling you that you are right. If you stand alone, stand alone. But do not fall. Ancient proverb. If you have not learned to stand alone, you will break. You will cave. You will betray yourself just to have someone on your side. But if you have practiced solitude, if you have learned to be content in your own company, to trust your own judgment, to withstand the silence, then you can hold. Not because you are stubborn, because you have already been alone. You have already faced the fear. You have already made peace with the quiet, and you know that being alone does not kill you. It teaches you. Let me give you a daily practice. Every morning, before you check your phone, before you engage with the world, sit alone for 10 minutes. No phone, no music, just your in that 10 minutes. Ask yourself one question. What do I actually want today? Not what do they want from me. What do I want? Write down the answer. Then, before you go to sleep, sit alone for 10 minutes. Ask yourself, did I live according to my own wants today, or did I perform for others? Write down the answer. This practice will change you, slowly, imperceptibly, but over time, you will notice that you are saying no more often. You are pausing before you agree. You are checking in with yourself before you perform. And one day, you will realize that you are not afraid of being alone anymore. You actually look forward to it. Let me leave you with this. You were not born to be a people pleaser. You were not born to perform for approval. You were not born to panic at the sound of silence. You were born to be yourself, fully, freely, unapologetically. But you cannot be yourself if you cannot stand alone, because yourself is in there, underneath the performances, underneath the yeses, underneath the fear. And the only way to reach it is to sit in the quiet long enough for it to emerge. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. What color are your thoughts when no one is watching? Are they frantic, desperate, loud, or are they quiet, still? At peace, you get to choose. Every time you sit alone, every time you resist the urge to reach for your phone, every time you stay with yourself instead of escaping, you are dyeing your soul a new color, the color of someone who can stand alone, and that That person can stand anywhere, with anyone, against anything, because they have already learned the only lesson that matters. You are enough, all by yourself. No audience required. Here is your assignment. 7 days, 7 practices. Do them honestly. Day 1. The phone fast for 1 hour today. Put your phone in another room. No music, no podcasts, no scrolling. Just you and the silence. Set a timer. Do not check it until the timer goes off. Write down what you felt. Day 2. The solo meal. Go to a restaurant alone. Eat a meal without looking at your phone. Just eat. Notice the discomfort. Stay with it. Write down what you learned. Day 3. The morning question. Before you check your phone tomorrow morning, sit for 10 minutes. Ask yourself, what do I actually want today? Write the answer. Then try to live it. Day 4. The evening review before you sleep. Sit for 10 minutes. Ask yourself, where did I perform today? Where did I say yes when I meant no? Write down one thing you will do differently tomorrow. Day 5. The no practice today. Say no to something you would normally say yes to. Do not explain. Do not over-apologize. Just say no. Write down how it felt. Day 6. The long sit. Find 2 hours today with no distractions. No phone, no TV, no people. Just you. Sit. Let the boredom come. Let the panic come. Stay. Write down what came up for you. Day 7. The integration review. Everything you wrote. Write a 1-page summary. What did I learn about myself this week? What am I afraid of? What am I ready to change? Then commit to 1 daily practice going forward. The world will tell you that you need people, that you cannot survive alone, that being alone is the worst fate imaginable. The world is wrong. Being alone is not the enemy. Being unable to be alone is the enemy. When you learn to stand alone, you become free. Free from the need to perform. Free from the terror of silence. Free from the prison of people-pleasing. You become someone who can stand with the truth even when no one backs you up. Someone who does not spiral when left alone. Someone who is ready for the moment when the whole world turns against you. Not because you are cold, because you are complete, and a complete person does not need an audience. They just need themselves. Now go sit in the silence. It is waiting for you. And so are you.